Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning into VGAPR Garage. Today we're working on a 2011 Subaru, and there's a symbol and the name, Outback. We're going to be working on the front brakes already to one side. This vehicle only has 24,000 miles, still has the factory rotors and pads. We're going to want to start off by letting off the cap to the brake fluid. First, let's go ahead and take the wheel off. I've already jacked up the vehicle. If you do not have air tools, you're going to want to take the lug nuts off with the wheel on the ground. I'm using a 3/4 half-inch drive on this. Got it in reverse on full. Next, for easy access, you're going to want to just turn the vehicle on and turn the wheel towards you. I'm actually going to pull the emergency brake. Now turn it so the caliper is facing out towards you. It's going to make this job a heck of a lot easier because Subaru went. And get out my favorite tool, which is, one second and you'll know, a little bit longer and you'll know, a little bit longer and you'll know, come on, let's get that, is the Astro. I have the 3/4 and half-inch. I love this tool. It's awesome. Go ahead and put it on reverse too. See if we can get this off. Alright. Go ahead and take a flathead. You want to compress the pistons. Compress. There's 2 in this model. Alright, so now we got to get the bolts off. We still have the Nano attached. It's 14 millimeter. By the way, this one up here was a 12. Let's put it on reverse full. Start with the bottom one. Ta-da! Put it in our magnetic bin. Take the next one. Let's do it this way. There we go. Ta-da! Put it in our magnetic bin. Go ahead and take the caliper, take it up, and just set it in there. That's what I find right there. Alright, next step. You're going to need a 17 millimeter wrench right there, and a mallet. I think it's this way. We'll find out. Yep, hammer it down. I think. The reason why I'm not using my impact is because, alright, so the reason why I'm not using my impact in here is because this is the top caliper bracket bolt. This is the spindle or the knuckle strut bolt. There is no room to get it back in there, so that's why you have to use a regular wrench. We're going to do the same thing with the bottom one. Now these are from the factory, which explains why they are on so incredibly tight. Also, they're very rusted, so when I do put a socket on it, they ended up staying inside the socket. Now the issue with these brakes is not that the pads are bad. You can see they're actually there's still a lot of life in them, but the inside of the rotor is in horrible shape, and the pads are stuck because at the factory they do not put any anti-seize or anything anywhere. So as rust builds up, it shrinks the space and the pads get stuck. I don't understand why they don't grease them or put any anti-seize on them at the factory. It's an all-wheel drive vehicle. It's mostly going to be driven in an area anyway, so I got the bolts out. They're mostly going to be driven in an area. Go ahead and take this off. See, this isn't normal. As you can see, that's not normal. They're mostly going to be driven in an area, and what I found with the last ones is these are stuck on. So I turn the rotor, mosquitoes already. So I turn the the wheel so that I could show you guys this. You don't have to when you do yours. These rotors are really stuck on. These are bolts that I have. I always have an extra pair of bolts just randomly sit around because you'll never know when you need to do this. There's threads in the rotor, and this will push the rotor off. Because this vehicle is all-wheel drive all the time, you can't just have both wheels up and turn them. So it's easier to do it this way. If I'm not mistaken, these are 12s. Won't go for yours. The guide pin bolts will work too, but I wouldn't recommend it. I put some anti-seize on it. We want to go in forward. Wondering with how they're stuck, how are you going to get them out? A hammer. There's one. The other. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and, ouch, that hurt. Take the shims out. I already made sure because of the other side that it came with the proper shims. Now, what we're actually going to do is put the bracket back on without the rotor. So let's get you guys up. Okay, get the 2 bolts. There's no need to put them on completely tight. We just are going to file the rust down so that the new pads will sit in and be able to move freely. Get the bottom one in. Find the hole. Okay, so I'm actually going to zoom you in to this. So as you can see, that's all rust that's pushing up against the pads, making them so they can't use. File, cross file, Home Depot, like $7. And just sand the areas, or file the areas where the pad's gonna sit, and the shims. You don't want to go crazy and remove too much material. What you're trying to remove is the rust. So now after you've filed, go ahead and take it off. You can use some brake clean. I'm just going to use a rag I've got, a dirty rag that does the job of getting it clean. Again, when you're filing, you're just removing rust. You don't want to go crazy and remove the actual material of the bracket. If you use like I used it in one of my other videos. It's like a wheel with a bunch of metal things on them. Actually, you're only polishing rust. You're actually not getting rid of it. So Eric O taught me that. Link to the description for his channel. Go ahead and check him out. So now, just gonna take the rag and clean up the surface. I'm much happier with how it looks. Quite a bit less rust. That means things are going to move a little bit more freely. I'm going to move you back. Alright, so hopefully you all can see this. I'm going to try and work right here where the camera says that it's visible. A little bit better focus for you guys. Alright, so now what we want to do is grease stuff. So I have some anti-seize here. It's high temp. There's some other stuff you can use for brakes. But mounting surfaces, where the shims are going to go, just going to put some here. This will stop new rust from building up. It'll be like a barrier from moisture. To the upper side as well. Alright. Keep your anti-seize readily available because you're actually going to be using it again. And then this kit that I had the customer order comes with shims that are identical to the ones that came off. You're just going to want to slide them right in. They'll be a little tough, but that's okay. Not as tough as if you didn't clean the rust off. And I know you can't see, but just put the shims in. Super easy. Only one way to go in. Alright, because you guys kept your anti-seize readily available, we're going to want to grease the hub so that next time you won't have to use the screws. Really what you want to be greasing is the lip. Try to stay away from your hub studs, whatever they're called. Alright, now you want to grab your new rotor. Robestos is giving me no money for this. I just like Robestos rotors because if you find the right ones, they paint them. That's nice. Means no rust. Now, go ahead and take your caliper bracket with the bolts, and you're going to want to put them back into place. That's going to be a little weird because this rotor doesn't have anything holding it down, so it's going to want to move. You can take one of the lug nuts and hold it on if that's easier. I just don't. My head's going to be in the way. Alright, there we go. Start the threads. They feel started, but they're not. Where are you? There we go. Got one. Go ahead and grab the other one. Push it around. And there we go. And I'm sure some of you are going to mention it. Got some anti-seize on the rotor. I'm aware. But anyways, take your 17. I'm sure there's a torque spec, but that's tight. I've been doing this long enough where I know. If you want, go ahead and get a torque wrench and fill in the torque. Here we go. Now, caliper. Actually, not now caliper. Go ahead and grab your new pads. One with the tab. That one goes on the back. Leading. What?
You're out here talking to yourself?
Videoing it for YouTube.
Oh.
With the tab, that's a wear indicator. Trailing edge, wheels turning this way forward. Trailing end would be, who gives a shit. Just put some anti-seize on them. This will stop them from squeaking and will allow them to move freely. Now, and they should. Put my head in here. Grab this up a little bit. There we go. There's, oops, see, they move so freely, it pop right out. And that's good. That's what you want. You want it to be moving freely. Now I'll take the front side one. These are also Raybestos. I think they're an absolutely fantastic brand. It's what I recommend to my customers. And then it will, yeah, might help if I have the bottom lined up. Just slide her. Oh, that little tab is in the way. There we go. Slide right in. And they do move quite a bit more freely. So, alright, let's go ahead and try to get it back in. Back, push that out of the way. Hold this little tab. There. Now, as you remember, I took the cap off of the brake fluid reservoir. Just gonna take a wrench, open the strut, and compress the pistons. These are dual pistons. I'm sure there's a tool. I don't have it with me. There we go. Let's see if there's enough room. And not yet, so I'm just gonna take it again and just simply push up against them. I just don't understand why there's this difficult. I'm sure someone will tell me in the description, but it's like it's just a Subaru thing. Alright, so compress it enough to where I can get it off. There's flat spots on the push pins that line up with the caliper. Basically, there's only one way to put it on. Now, take your push pin bolts. That's not important. Sorry guys, take your push pin bolts. Put them through. That one's in the hole. That one's in the hole as well. Now, there we go. These were, alright, these were the 14. Go ahead and grab my 14, put it on full forward. Torque it to factory spec. And the next one. Factory spec. I'm happy with that. Now, we don't want to forget. Oh, you guys can see it perfect. Now, for this, the bolt, I'm going to put some anti-seize on that as well because it was very badly rusted. Here's, you know, a 2011 vehicle. Should be this badly rusted because it's a Subaru. That's a size 12. I'm going to go ahead and grab my 12. I'm not going to put it on full forward because it is a smaller bolt. There we go. I'm happy, 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 happy. I'm going to grab this. I'm pretty sure I'll be happy with how tight that is. Otherwise I got to do the other side. Yeah, these are tight enough. You don't want to be going crazy and over tighten them. Alright. Next up's easy part. Grab your wheel. Line up with your studs. Put it on. Start your studs by hand first. Otherwise, use the air tool first. You might cross thread the studs, and then you gotta replace your stud threads, your studs. No bueno. Go ahead and tighten the cap on your brake fluid reservoir. Go ahead and shut your hood. Turn your vehicle on. And then go ahead and pump your brake so it gets firm again. There we go. That's real simple. That's how you do front rotors and pads on a 2011 Subaru Outback. I'm sure this is almost the same for most of the same year or platform of Subarus, like the Legacy. This is an Outback. I don't know all the other ones, but basically the same for most Subarus. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the questions or comment sections. I try to always answer every question and comment. Try to upload videos every Monday depending on my normal job and this business. Thanks for watching VGAPR Garage, and if you like, thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.